King David was old and near death. The great warrior who had slain Goliath, who had united Israel, now lay frail upon his bed. But before he died, he had one final act, to crown his son Solomon as the next king. I had chosen this young man for a purpose greater than he could imagine. Solomon was barely 20 years old when the weight of a kingdom fell upon his shoulders. He inherited a nation at peace, with enemies subdued and borders secure. But ruling millions of people, making decisions that would affect generations, this responsibility terrified him. He knew he needed help. Solomon went to Gibeon to offer sacrifices. That night, I appeared to him in a dream. "Ask what you wish me to give you," I said. This was the moment that would define his reign. He could have asked for anything: wealth, power, long life, victory over enemies. What would he choose? Solomon's answer moved my heart. "Lord my God," he prayed, "I am only a little child and do not know how to carry out my duties. Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." He asked not for himself, but for wisdom to serve others. Because you have asked for wisdom to serve others, rather than riches, or long life, or the death of your enemies, I will give you what you asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. And I will also give you what you did not ask for: wealth and honor. Soon after, Solomon's wisdom was tested. 2 women came before him, both claiming to be the mother of the same baby. One woman's child had died in the night, and now both claimed the living one. There were no witnesses, no evidence. Only a king's judgment could resolve this impossible case. Solomon called for a sword. "Divide the living child in 2, he commanded, and give half to one and half to the other." The court gasped in horror. Had the new king gone mad? But Solomon knew exactly what he was doing. He was not seeking facts. He was seeking hearts. The true mother cried out, "Please, my lord, give her the living baby. Don't kill him." But the other woman said, "Neither I nor you shall have him. Cut him in 2. In that moment, the truth was revealed. Only a real mother would rather lose her child than see him harmed. "Give the baby to the first woman," Solomon declared. "She is his mother." When all Israel heard of the king's judgment, they held him in awe. They recognized that I had given him wisdom to administer justice. His fame spread to every surrounding nation. Kings and queens traveled from distant lands just to hear Solomon speak and witness his legendary wisdom. Solomon set out to fulfill his father David's greatest dream, to build a house for me. 180,000 workers labored for 7 years. The finest cedar from Lebanon, gold from Ophir, precious stones from distant lands. This temple would be the dwelling place of my presence on earth. When the temple was finished, it took the breath away from all who saw it. The interior was overlaid with pure gold. Cherubim with wings spanning 15 feet guarded the Holy of Holies. It was the most magnificent building the world had ever seen, a palace fit for the King of Kings. When the priests brought the Ark of the Covenant into the Holy of Holies, my glory filled the temple like a cloud. The priests could not stand to minister because of my presence. I had come to dwell among my people. Solomon fell to his knees, overwhelmed by the weight of my holiness. Solomon spread his hands toward heaven and prayed, "Lord, the heavens cannot contain you. How much less this temple I have built. Yet hear the prayers of your people when they pray toward this place. Hear from heaven and forgive." His prayer moved all of Israel and pleased my heart. The Queen of Sheba heard of Solomon's wisdom and came to test him with hard questions. She brought gold, spices, and precious stones. But when she saw his wisdom, his palace, and his kingdom, she was breathless. "There is not even half the wisdom and prosperity in what I was told," she declared. Solomon's wealth surpassed all the kings of the earth. He received 666 talents of gold yearly. His throne was made of ivory overlaid with gold. Silver was as common as stones in Jerusalem. Ships brought gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. He had everything a heart could desire. Solomon spoke 3,000 proverbs and wrote 1,005 songs. He described plants from the cedar of Lebanon to the hyssop growing from walls. He taught about animals, birds, reptiles, and fish. People came from all nations to hear his wisdom. But wisdom without faithfulness leads to a tragic end. But as Solomon grew older, his heart began to turn. He loved many foreign women who worshipped other gods. 700 wives and 300 concubines slowly turned his heart away from me. The wisest man on earth made the most foolish choice. He forgot the source of his wisdom. I was angry with Solomon because his heart had turned from me. I had appeared to him twice and commanded him not to follow other gods. Yet he did not keep my command. I declared that his kingdom would be torn apart, though not in his lifetime, but in his son's, for the sake of his father David. In his final years, Solomon reflected on all he had done. "Vanity of vanities," he wrote. "All is vanity. I have seen all that is done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and striving after wind. Wisdom without God is meaningless. Wealth without purpose is empty." He had learned the hardest lesson. Solomon's final words ring through the ages. "Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." Beloved child, do not repeat Solomon's mistake. Seek wisdom, yes, but never forget its source. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Keep your heart faithful. Until we speak again.